Yeah, man. Let's kill that bass head. Alright, let's do this.
I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAPs.
Welcome, everybody, to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Bowes, a.k.a. Obi-Wan Antoni, and sitting next to me in the actual same room is my young Padawan, Mattykin. How are you doing today, Matt?
Oh, I am terrific, my friend.
Excellent.
Still chubby and handsome. How about you?
You're looking good, man. It has been a long time since we've actually been in the same physical room together.
I know.
So that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
To make it even better, though, we've got our very special guest today. I'm super excited to announce from the Mandalorian as the armor herself, or Supernatural as the darkness. It is Emily Swallow. How are you doing today, Emily?
Hi, I'm great. Happy to be here. And I'm happy for you guys. I didn't know you hadn't been able to be together. This is a beautiful thing.
I know. With social distancing and everything, we had to move to separate studios, and we would normally actually be doing that if it wasn't for the fact that the power went out and I had to rush here. Yeah. So
Hey, happy accident.
I know, it was fantastic.
And then so we're both vaccinated, right? You're fully vaccinated?
Fully vaxxed. Yeah. I've had double juice and so far super healthy and haven't had any issues.
I got the cocktail. I got both.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
One of each.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. I go in the dark now. I'm 5G compatible.
As I said before, superpowers are fantastic. A tail would be not cool. So we'll see which whenever happens 10 years from now.
Well, it depends what kind of tail. I mean,
Yeah.
if the tail you had complete control over, like monkeys, that'd be pretty sick.
Or like a nightcrawler tail or something.
Yeah,
but,
see?
Or like a kangaroo, and can't kangaroos like
great for balance, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I actually don't have the best balance in the world, believe it or not. So it would probably work out really well if that tail was there for balance. So
with my luck, if I got that superpower, it'd be like a pig's tail.
just this curly little thing hanging at the back.
A rhino tail, it just spins when I poop.
That wouldn't actually be all that bad. So, well, that aside, so we do have a few things to announce. So the first thing we have is that today is our first fully sponsored show. We have picked up two wonderful sponsors over the break. We have today's sponsor, of course, is CR Sabers, and they are at crsabers.ca, so they're out of Canada. And of course, we've also picked up Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber Shop, and they do lots of saber parts and for fully customization. Today, of course, CR Sabers has sent us a wonderful package with a couple of the Sith Master Sabers. So we're going to talk about those a little bit over the course of the show. And but before we get going too much further, how about we talk about some rather humorous things we found in the news today?
Absolutely.
All right. Are you ready for this, Emily?
I'm ready.
All right. So this is real news. Believe it or not, we come across some of the weirdest things when we look through the news. Normally the U.S. and Florida, which I believe you were a resident for some time.
Florida.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
I know. Thank God for Florida, man. So,
what part of Florida?
Jacksonville, Florida. North Florida, which is the South. So
that's right.
Nice.
we have some special things that happen there.
It's always a special day in Florida, let me tell you.
Hey, it's
like not just Disney that makes it magical.
And it's the #1 Canadian tourism state.
It is.
You know?
Really?
That's where all the Canadians go. Snowbirds.
Exactly. Yeah. A little bit of timeshare, a little bit of living space down in the Florida area. So. Yeah. All right, Maddie, what have you got today?
All right. So I thought this was kind of funny. News has been a little slower lately due to the lack of anybody going anywhere. But
fair enough.
So here we go. We'll kick it off. So Ghostbuster falls through roof of abandoned Buffalo train station. So the 35-year-old woman and her fellow Ghostbuster were on a substation roof near the back of the property when it caved in and fell more than 5 meters. So about 15, 20 feet.
Wow,
right?
Okay.
Good enough.
Survivable,
right?
Yeah.
Officers and paramedics responded to the rescue call shortly after 10:30 p.m. at night The woman was treated at the scene before being taken with multiple injuries to a local hospital. The man was with her that was with her was not injured. He probably fell on her.
He fell landed on her.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
Ladies first.
Right. What a gentleman.
Hey, it's 2021.
That's right.
The two ghost hunters were there without permission, but police said no charges have been filed yet. Despite a train not passing through this particular terminal in more than 40 years, the 92-year-old building is run by a nonprofit that continue to host public events there each year. So it's kind of just become, the place to be. And
Apparently.
so it happens that it's a pretty spooky place. So it brings in a lot of ghost hunters from around the U.S. and Canada, and they go hunting to see if it's
looking for the ghost train.
Yeah,
I got really excited for a second because you said, despite there not being a train for 40 years, the 92, and I thought you were going to say the 92-year-old Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Right on!
Yeah, that lady's kicking ass.
Yeah.
At that point, there'd be no injuries. There'd just be carrying off it wouldn't be a hospital trip.
That's
Probably
absolutely
a
hilarious.
So.
We got a comment from Beth. Loved you in Supernatural.
Hey, thanks.
So we've got. I got to tell you. So when you first started talking about that, of course, I'm super excited because the new kind of Ghostbuster movie is coming out, which is based off the originals. So I don't know if you've seen the trailers for these things. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Haven't yet.
No, it is amazing. The timeline takes place after. It's Harold Ramis's character, so Egon Spangler. It's his grandkids and his daughters. So I guess he's passed on. He's willed a house to them. They're down on their luck, so it works out really well that they have a place to go to, and they stumble across a lot of his gadgets, including, I think, a gateway to the dead. So it looks really, really fun.
Just leave those laying around.
Yeah. Well, you never know with them, right? So it looks super exciting. So when you were saying Ghostbusters, I thought, oh, hey, maybe they're filming, and one of the Ghostbusters fell through, and it was completely unrelated. So I guess I was a little
It'd be
let down.
sweet if they worked that into the movie, like
Right.
just in the title.
or like, I mean, I guess it would have been worse if they had actually found a ghost, and the ghost was that of the person who fell through the ceiling. So
Yeah.
I guess it could have gone south really quick.
I wouldn't be able to like live it down that I fell through a roof. Like I would be like something pushed me. You know what I mean? Like I would embellish the story wholeheartedly.
Maddie, I wait every day when you ask me to come help you with something for you to fall through a roof. I always have my cell phone on standby just in case.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's going to happen to anybody, it would generally be you.
I actually don't like heights. Like
No.
you'd make fun of me, but true story. Last summer I had to get up and I was basically pressure washing my roof. My roof's about 30 feet high. And so I get up there, I literally froze. I couldn't get down. I was like, Ashley, like my wife was like, "You are the biggest man baby I've ever seen." She's like, I could leap to you. I was like, no.
I got to tell you, which is funny because you've been carrying the man-child title forever, and now you've downgraded to man baby.
Yeah, I'm man baby now. So.
I'll have to have a good laugh about it there. All right, so my article today, this one was, honestly, the headline caught me right away. It said, Junkie P is turning trout into meth heads.
What?
Go on.
There's
so much going on. So basically, I'm going to sum this up because it's a really, really long article. But what happened was there are a lot of people over in Europe that apparently are doing meth, and their waste is going through the system and emptying out into rivers, which is making trout junkies. And I guess the purification, because I'm thinking, well, do they have a direct pipe that just goes out into the water? Do they not go through purification plants?
Yeah.
They do, but they're not made to filter out what they said was pharmaceuticals. And I'm like, okay, but this is meth. This isn't considered pharmaceutical per
That's
se.
really scary. Like, think of all the drugs in people's systems.
That's right.
Yeah,
So-
I'm surprised that this is like the first time this has been a problem.
Right? I mean,
Maybe
with
it's
the
just
amount
the
of
first time they realize it.
right. I mean, I'm hoping the antidepressants are getting out there as well. So, because I mean, I'd be really afraid of those fish if they're junkies and barely depressed.
So he's like, Matt, where
Have
are you?
nothing
Oh,
to
just,
live
I'm down at the
for.
water plant.
All I do is swim in circles.
Well, and it's funny you say that. So when they were doing tests, apparently what they did is they took these trout out and they separated them into tanks. There were the clean subjects and they're the ones that they were giving meth to. And sure enough, those fish actually started creating a dependency on meth. So when they put them into open water and they would trickle meth into an area, they would come towards the source and continue to feed on that water. And then when they were compared to the other ones, there was the active fish, and then there was the meth addicts that were really slow and just kind of swimming in circles. and then when they released them, they would basically be so dormant until there was that meth source again, and they would instantly go over to the pipe where it was coming out from the filtration plant, and they were just hanging out there.
That's crazy.
So,
Wow.
That is crazy.
right? So I guess if you want to go fishing, you could take worm or you can take some meth, and either way, they're going to be desperate to jump in that boat.
I'm not eating the meth trout.
Yeah, through all that article, all I could think of is like, how many Europeans are doing meth? I mean, if there's that much meth that is now a fish problem, I think the problem isn't really the fish. It's you need to clean up your city or town if you've got that much meth going through the system. So, I got it. There's so many things to say about that. All right, so that's our news today. Let's jump over to you and talk about. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Mandalorian.
Okay.
How did you come about? How did you land this role?
It's funny because very often people will say, like, how did you decide to do that? And I think most actors laugh at that question because usually it's not that we've decided to do something. It's that we audition over and over and over and over. And then finally we get something. And I auditioned for The Mandalorian just the way I have auditioned for many, many other things that I did not get. And was lucky enough to get it. I mean, I knew very little about it going into the audition. I knew it was something to do with Star Wars, but they were very vague about that. And I knew that the character was going to be masked. I knew she was the leader of a group of people. They said she was Zen-like, but that was kind of all I had. So then, I have these scenes that mean nothing to me because I have nothing to attach them to. But that happens a lot. I think, more and more with all these like top secret superhero projects and all that. You get something and they're not going to tell you what it is. So you just have to go back to like when you were 6 years old and you made up everything.
That's right. Now, Jon Favreau is, of course, very well known for keeping things under wraps when it comes to. So when it was announced that this was coming out, like there was so little information and a lot of speculation about what it was going to be. Are you a Star Wars fan to begin with?
I am, yes. I wouldn't say that I'm a hardcore fan. I mean, now I am.
You're not a big old nerd wearing a shirt like I am. But
I mean, I grew up with Star Wars, it was like, I remember like playing Ewok Adventures in my backyard. And of course I wanted to be Princess Leia. So it's just always been a part of my life.
Yeah. Now, did you put the hair into the buns, or did you just like hope you had cinnamon buns or earmuffs that you were?
Oh man, I wanted to, but I didn't have enough hair and I didn't know how to do it. Nowadays, there would just be like a YouTube tutorial, but we didn't.
That's right.
Back in the day, we didn't have those.
We were lucky if we had a calculator that functioned. So so that's really cool. I mean, to me, I think that's probably like a life ambition, and of course with the Star Wars kind of. I mean, I'm hoping Disney will continue that Star Wars thing for quite some time. I was always like, if I ever could do anything in a lifetime, I would love to be even 30 seconds as an obscure character in Star Wars, because I mean, that's
it's a dream come true. I mean, it's not even the kind of thing you wish for because the chances are just so slim.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and because they film all over the place, right? I mean, it's not like it's like, oh, we're going to film up in Canada today. We need another hot scene. We'll see what we can pull out. Right. I mean, when they're filming all across the UK and everywhere else, I'd imagine like it's especially for the new movies that came out with the Star Wars movies. And actually, speaking of which, I must say, as a huge Star Wars fan, I found that the newer movies, they were fun. They were well done. didn't find the characters someone you could really latch to, like you could with Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and everything. But then when The Mandalorian came around, that completely reversed it. It was almost like it was back in the original days, and that you really started associating with these characters, and like you were looking forward, like what's happening, what's coming back, and it's going to be. It was really exciting that The Mandalorian almost just kickstarted and rebooted Star Wars all again for me.
Yeah, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are geniuses, and I feel like they captured that flavor again, and then added so much more to it. They're incredible storytellers.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. What is your secret for looking so beautiful and healthy, Beth?
Good lighting.
Good.
It's funny if she said fish meth.
Yeah, fish meth.
Fish meth.
Yeah.
Great new product.
Yeah.
Watch my infomercial.
You have a good voice, actually.
Yeah,
I think
it'll work.
Yeah,
It would work. You could probably sell fish meth. It would work. People would buy it from you.
I mean, the times are tough for the armorer. Last time we saw her, she was picking up all these not dead, but discarded pieces of her friend. She was all on her own. Maybe she's got to sell some fish meth.
Right? After one hell of an ass-kicking scene, I got to tell you. So, did you do that scene?
I wanted to so badly. It has been my dream to get to train for, like an action hero or a really big fight like that. And when I got that script and I saw that there was a fight scene, it was about 3 weeks before we were shooting it. And I asked Ryan, our Emmy Award winning stunt coordinator, who is fantastic at, I was like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And he said, basically, he was like, oh, that's very sweet. He was like, there's just no way in 3 weeks that you could train to the level that you would need to actually make this fight look the way it did. Yeah. And so I did he was like, but if you want to see what you come up with to in case we need you for transitions or something. So I did. And that was really satisfying to get to work with somebody for a few weeks. And it was based in a martial art called Kali. So I did a little bit of that, and then I sat back and watched my stunt double make it look absolutely unbelievable. And I had a general idea of what the fight was going to be like, but I didn't actually see it until the episode aired. And so I was sitting there on my couch watching it at the same time that everybody else was, sitting next to my husband, and that fight happened, and we were both just like. And then at the end of it, I believe he said something like, I guess I'll go do the dishes now.
You're damn right you will.
Yeah.
You should be like, damn, I look good.
Yeah. Trash needs to go out too.
That's right. Yeah. Wow. So I often wonder that because, we have had several stuntmen on the show and talking about all the things they prepare and they do behind the scenes. And it's always very interesting, especially, I guess, quite easy in your character's case because they have a helmet on, but when they actually have to match a stunt double physically and to look so much like the character,
right?
We've always kind of come across that. But it was interesting because I always wonder how many actors actually are allowed to do their own stunt scenes, and I know a lot of actors really push to be like, no, I'm going to do this myself.
Yeah. And sometimes they won't let you just because of insurance. You might be capable of doing it, but they would rather risk, they don't want to lose things. So
you're like, well, we'd love for you to do this, but you're too expensive. We'll send Tom, and Tom's like, oh, that's absolutely crazy. So I guess of all the characters that are out there, I mean, Mandalorian, of course, one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. That must have been pretty exciting when you found out it was going to be a Mandalorian in the end, when they finally released that info and said, yeah, you're going to be like the queen of Mandalorians.
Yeah.
When does that information come down the pipeline? Like, you get your chunk of the script and what you're supposed to be doing? Like, when do you actually piece it together what you're actually working on?
I really didn't have a fully realized understanding until I watched it, because cool. I had my scripts for my episodes, and they did tell me So I had the first one and the third one, and then I think that they gave me a couple of the scripts between the third one and the last one that I was in. But it wasn't until I watched it that I understood just how important the armorer was to his journey. Because for me, I didn't have that many scenes. I was like, okay, I'm in 3 episodes. I got a few scenes. I mean, I really, really liked her. And I love that she sort of serves as the mentor figure in this story.
Mhm.
But I really didn't have a full understanding until I watched it. And I shot all of my work before the show was ever publicly announced.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I was already done doing what I had to do when I started to find out like more and more about what it was I was involved with, which was kind of great because
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance to get nervous and psyched out or, worry about all the buildup.
Yeah, it's true. The pressure's a little less when you're going to do it all before they release it, right?
When you don't even know what you're doing.
That's right.
That's crazy.
That is. Now, I know they've started talking about the 3rd season of Mandalorian. I know that, of course, there's going to be a bit of break with the Book of the Boba Fett, but I think there's a lot of fan pressure for them to get the next season underway. Have you had any call about that yet?
I know what I hear people talk about online.
Okay.
People tell me at conventions.
Yep. Okay. So a lot of either speculation or leaks that have come out, and they
Yeah.
have to ask you, and you're like, I can't say yes or no yet.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
No.
Like she said, she didn't know she was in it until she watched it. Maybe she's been in season 3 this whole
That's
time.
right.
And
Maybe so.
what have you been working on lately?
That's right. They just come back as another character. It'd be
Yeah.
nice with like put a whole bunch of makeup on and be, by the way, did you know that's the same person? So,
awesome.
I mean, I think Mark Hamill's been, of course, notorious for crossing over into a lot of different Star Wars things as either a creature or voice of a character. So it's very cool.
You know what's super interesting, actually? What you just mentioned, Mark Hamill. So, did you see that there's this famous YouTuber and he uses deep fake technology to put real actors' faces on like he redoes movie scenes and it looks way more realistic?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen that, Emily, before?
No.
Okay, so there's YouTube. He's pretty famous, and he uses like basically artificial intelligence to reconstruct facial features, and then he instead of going over the CGI, he kind of remaps it and does his own thing.
Yep.
And he actually just got hired by Disney because of the work he's been doing. And
because he fixed Luke Skywalker in that final scene of The Mandalorian. So I guess there was an issue. He fixed it, and LucasArts is now, or Disney, I guess, has hired him.
Good for him.
Right? So just amazing for people's own use of technology and a little bit of fandom, I guess. Like, you never know what it could cause. Like, you could be in the next Star Wars film and or working for Disney after this. So that was really cool. I read that as well. I thought it was really neat. All right, so we're going to start a new little section that we've never done before, and this, of course, goes back to our sponsors with CR Sabers and, of course, Blue Bull's Sabers Parts. We've got some gifts, of course, that came from CR Sabers today that now is a good time to talk about. But before we do so, how about we talk about a little gift that came your way from, of course, Chris at CR Sabers?
Okay.
So,
talk about it or show it?
Yeah, let's do show and tell. Let's talk about what you've got, and then we will talk about what we've got.
I got a dark saber.
The dark saber from Mandalorian. So let's fire this up and
let's see if I do it.
Big
right.
saber. That's
What did she say? I can't understand.
I think that was the sound that went down. I think you got to do that again.
Pulse.
So that's a pulse. That's changing the saber style.
Oh. How long should I hold the button down?
Generally, it should just be a single push.
And there we go.
There you go.
She's a beaut.
She is. So there it is, pulsing.
That looks incredible.
That is a big sword.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Is it that? So that's an all metal aluminum hilt, correct? So it's a nice heavy sword, I imagine.
It's hard for me. I can't really fit the whole thing in my screen.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
How long is the blade? Roughly.
If you guessed.
Like
How
3,
big is
4
my
feet?
computer screen? Let's see.
Yeah.
Probably 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
That's a good
I'm gonna
size
guess.
blade. Yeah.
Maybe
That's
3
pretty
feet.
You got some room to swing it around.
I don't.
Yeah, that's what these are, right?
It'll-
2.5
I mean-
feet?
I think pretty close.
I'm surrounded by moving boxes. This would be a good way to unpack, I guess.
That's right. Just start swinging around.
There you go. You can hear it.
Yeah,
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, that part's so we have to figure that
If
out.
you tap the button once. There you go. So that's your blaster deflection.
Nice.
And then you could do kind of a tap and hold slightly, and that should give a lockup
Tap,
sound.
then hold.
Yeah, just kind of like press it for about a half second and then release. How about a second and release?
I did
Oh, there you
something.
go. I think
That
you just
must have
changed
been
the color.
1.5 seconds.
Yeah, so that's 2 seconds. So you've changed. I think it changed the color there. Did you? So just so you know, like I've got basically a lot of the same here, and I'm going to just fire mine up quickly. So there's the power on, and shot Matt in the side of the head. So as you can tell, of course,
It is super bright.
this one's super bright.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
So this model, of course, is the Sith Master, and just so you can get an idea of what it's like with the blade in. So the same kind of thing goes. If you press it once, you get kind of like a blaster deflect.
Uh-huh.
If you give it kind of a press and a release, it does a lockup. There you go.
It didn't make a sound though. It just changed the.
So I think what happens is just like yours, where there's a clash on hit. There's a battery. So the beautiful thing about these sabers, because they're metal, I'm gonna turn this down so it's not overpowering. Oh, there we go. Maddie's got a nice purple blade on his.
It's super bright.
Yeah. So the hilts, of course, are modular, and that's one of the things I love about this company is you can actually take pieces off and you can actually change them out. Now with the dark saber, it's a little bit more specific. There you go.
No.
I think you muted it again. So there's that. Yeah, there's your blaster fire.
There's your color.
Right.
And so this one, as you can see, it all kind of comes apart, and
Yeah.
I'll show you quickly. Which is really beautiful about this style of saber is, like I said, it's modular, so you can actually take it all apart and customize these the way you want. So different grips, different pummels, different emitters, and
Colors.
different switches. So yeah, different colors. So this particular model, of course, is black, and as you can see, it's actually the very loud, tiny little speaker, but it's super, super loud. And you get that nice, smooth swing
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sound.
there must be a gyroscope.
built inside.
Yeah.
Yep. And there you can see the clash.
So just smack a couple of these together. It's gonna make some cool stuff.
Yeah. So I'll turn this down because I keep blinding Maddie as I'm
literally.
yeah, this would have been a
I'm
little
not
bit
going to
different.
invite you over anymore.
I was going to say this would be a little bit different if we had our separate studios, like we have been doing lately. I'd have a little bit more room to.
But the thing that shocked me, Tony, because we just got these, and the thing that I like best is that the quality, like the metal, the
It's
weight. of it.
Absolutely amazing. And one of the things I was really looking to do is to show a bit of a comparison, because I was at Disney a couple years back, and I picked up one of their Savvy workshops where I custom built it. And as much as I super love that lightsaber, it's very big, it's very bulky. And the beautiful thing about this model is it's very slimline. It's exactly how I would have imagined a lightsaber to be, where it's extremely comfortable for your hand. Your hand can completely close around it, where I find these Savvy ones it's so big that it actually dwarfs the blade. So you look like you've got this massive lightsaber and this tiny little tube coming out of it. Whereas with the CR sabers, they're absolutely fantastic. Oh.
Suddenly there's a leaf blower outside.
I was going to say, wow, that suddenly got a lot louder.
I'm going to put on some headphones. I'm going to put down my lightsaber first.
So Beth asked if it's for kids or 12 and under. Chris, so Chris actually from CR Sabers is on right now, and he suggests 12 and up. And he had actually he'd be totally happy to walk you through some of the tips and tricks of that.
Okay.
lightsaber. So,
Chris, can you show Tony how to not shine it directly into my eyeballs?
I'm not used to sitting on
That
the
requires a
side.
very special training.
I know. We didn't agree to that, Matt. So this is another
Beautiful.
little.
I know I haven't figured it out yet, but it's absolutely beautiful.
And I see you've got actually on the side of yours, there is one of those little silver wheels. So I've got one.
Yes, for my belt clip.
That's right. So that fits into your clip. And now with this particular saber, Sierra Sabers had sent us an actual modular ring that you can add on to that. So if you want to be able to hang it from your belt without the blade on, that's actually really, really cool.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely amazing. And like Matt said, I really love the construction on these. They have very good heft and weight to them, but at the same time, not overpowering or unbalanced. So I find there's actually quite good balance to these.
And that's what I thought too. Like it's weighted well, and the balance is there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
we will definitely have to discuss and get more into the sabers. I guess Chris said he can only try to walk me through this, so I don't keep zapping you in the eye. They do come in they come in a very nice package box. You get your charging cord. You get a card with a bunch of little bolts with an Allen key to put it in together. And what I think the best thing out of all this is, of course, with customized sabers and is, of course, sounds. So you have 9 sound mounts on this, including some music. We'll fire that up again and not into. So there's Leia's sound.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
So big Kylo Ren fan. Let's put the blade back on here for a second so you can see that sucker fire up. And we'll also make this unstable like his is. So you can go solid, you can go unstable, or kind of a flicker to it.
Oh.
Set the sound. No sound.
So we'll fire that up. I think did I turn on the no sound?
Just one. Yeah.
No, I did turn it on to no sound. I knew I would do that.
Man, that red.
So the beautiful thing about this is you've got so many different fonts, different colors. You can cycle through your colors. It's all controlled by one button. So it takes a little bit of practice to kind of get used to. And like I said, there we go. I turned off the sound. So you can hear with Kylo Ren's, it's more of a crackling sound to it.
Wow.
That's definitely my favorite one.
Very deep, kind of a crackle to it. Super love that. And of course, you can also hold down like the sound in between. You can get some different sayings from the movies that'll actually happen on there as well. Let's see if I can get one going.
Kylo Ren.
So it says Kylo Ren.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
I'll show you the dark side.
So very, very cool. Lock-up sounds. So lots of different things. Like I said, if you want your blade to be like a flicker, if you want to have that unstable crystal look, you can change that all through the button settings. And I do believe it says on the cards that are supplies with it.
Well, and I've seen some other sabers too that only do like one color or do one particular person's blade. I like the versatility of these particular ones because they do any color you want.
Yes.
You can pick, multiple characters that you're into. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even show that you can actually cycle the colors. I'm glad you brought that up. Because again, when you've got the sabers from Savi's workshop, the only way you can change your colors is if you buy a kyber crystal for an extra $20 and put it into the chamber, and basically that's your only way. But with these ones, when you fire them up, you can actually change that color, and it will cycle through. There we go. So there's to a yellow, to a green.
See, I love that.
Over to a blue.
Because I love purple. That's my favorite.
Yeah. I like just the good old Obi-Wan blue, which is kind of nice. And it goes through the whole spectrum. So between good old Ahsoka white, and then I think we're getting closer into that. Oh, I almost had a Mace Windu purple there, but I didn't catch it fast enough.
White's hard to get, eh?
It is.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So we get a little bit closer into the purple stage, which is quite nice. And I find that the purple is actually one of the colors that just captivates beautifully uniform all the way through. So let me turn this off now. Beautiful. So amazing sounds, amazing colors, schemes. You're not limited by buying a saber and only having one. You get all the different beautiful things.
You get to be anyone you want.
That's right. And that's a classic baselit kit. If, of course, you want to jump over and check out more about CR Sabers, you can check out their Facebook page here, which, of course, if you go over to our sponsor section of our website, www.thefap.ca, you can jump over and see that they're all their social medias, as well as you can go and check out crsabers.ca to check out all the different sabers you can get. They've got pre-builts, or you can kind of find something that's a little bit more your style. You know, they got a whole bunch of different sabers that I can't even tell you how many there are. There's so many different selections, thanks to all the different movies and the concept arts by a lot of other artists and stuff out there. So check them out. Check out crsabers.ca and tell them we said hi. All right. Now we've got some questions for you, Emily. We've got a little section, the half part of our show here that we call our slightly slower than average rapid fire questions. We've got 20 quick questions to ask you. There is no timeline. You don't have to worry about how fast you answer them. It's just more to have fun. And this is a little bit to know the person behind the screen.
All right.
Here we go.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What made-up word would you register into the English language?
Now I'm thinking too long.
I thought you froze.
That's right. I was like, uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Quick, put that card up.
I know that there's made up words that I use.
Have you ever,
and I can't think of it.
Slammed your elbow into something and said something and you're like, oh, geez, there's kids around, so I can't say a swear word, but you'd randomly come up with something?
I'll usually make up something like oh, farfin flarfin.
Yeah,
okay.
We haven't had that one yet.
We haven't had a farfin flargen yet. Yeah.
Which sounds a little, German, Swedish?
Yeah,
what is it?
Exactly.
We'll take it.
Yep, that works. You can come up with maybe it just means oh, damn in the dictionaries.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
What is the scariest dream that you can remember?
The scariest dream that I can remember was not actually my dream. It was my husband's dream, because I woke up one night to hear him exorcising a demon in his dream, like fully asleep. And when he talks in his sleep, he gets this weird, I guess his voice isn't fully supported. So he's like talking like this, it sounds completely made up, but he's really dreaming it. Wow. And he used to have this, he used to talk in his sleep a lot, and he had this app that would start recording when it picked up sound. So it wouldn't record the entire night. So we do have this recording of this dream that he had where you hear him exorcising this demon, and then you hear me just start to laugh. Because at this point, when I first heard these kinds of things in his sleep, it freaked me out. And I was so worried. I thought he was in distress. And then I found out he wasn't. So I would just listen.
Or I married a crazy person.
Well, that's still up for debate.
Yeah.
But then so did he. He married a crazy person too. So he exorcised a demon in his dream. And I guess everything was okay. And then I woke him up and he said, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. There was a demon that I had to say. His name was Hudson. So he was going like, Hudson.
That's great into it.
So he wasn't speaking Latin or anything, which I think would have probably really.
He was not.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I think you'd have to worry a little bit more if he was the demon, if that was the case. Oh my God. Okay, that's a crazy dream. All right.
All right. What superpower would you pick if you could? Just one.
I would just like to be able to fly. Real simple.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's possible.
Yeah, I don't want to complicate it.
More for just the fun of flight or just quicker travel?
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be quicker and it'd be more fun.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about security and or COVID on a plane.
What if you could fly, but only at walking speed?
Ooh, that'd be lame.
It'd still be kind of neat. I just wouldn't do it as much, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you could be actually, you know what? I maybe it would still be good. Because I mean, say you're walking downtown New York, and then you're just like, oh my god, I can't get through all this traffic, and you just kind of glided above them and just kind of walked over top of people,
Yeah.
That's true.
and then you're still technically faster.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's like having your own personal, like those people movers at the airport, but like you're just on your own.
that's right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. You know what? I'll take that back. That lane comment wasn't called for. I think that it would be cool to
So
actually.
hasty with the lane.
I know. I don't know.
Anymore.
Like, I think superpowers, and it's got to be cool. That just seems like not so superpower as it does regular power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you fly?
Average power. No, I can't. So I guess it's kind of super.
I can fly for
Average
about 4
power.
seconds.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid, I did try to jump off our second story, like inside the house, the second story landing with an umbrella because I wanted to be Mary
Oh,
Poppins.
nice.
I was going to say,
How'd
wow.
it go?
I broke a tooth. Didn't work so well.
You were not Mary Poppins, y'all.
No.
Okay. Wow.
All right. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Jumping off the balcony and smashing my
Mary
face.
Yeah.
That one registers.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
perfect. What activity makes you the happiest?
Oh. Just being in the ocean. I like to surf. I'm not that good at it, but I love it. I think I feel the most like just relaxed and free when I'm in the water.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have never had that one before.
No,
Surfing.
that's true.
Yeah,
No.
that's a good one.
You know, it's really weird because I used to love the water and I thought it was fantastic. I used to love to swim when I was younger, but then I was actually, for the first time ever, I went out to the ocean and it was in Florida and I'm floating and then I realized, wait a minute, there's sharks and shit out here. I'm not so relaxed
Yeah.
anymore, you know? And it was really funny because my wife was out in the water and I was on the beach with the kids and I'm waving to get her attention because a whale went behind her and she's just waving and smiling. And then when she came in, I'm like, there was a whale behind you. And I'm talking not way off in the distance. I'm talking like 40 feet behind you that had come out of the
Whoa.
water. She didn't even see it. And she thought I was joking until she's walking up the beach and she hears everybody talking about the whale that had come up behind her. So it was pretty
Well, I'm glad
crazy.
it was a whale and not a shark that you were trying to alert her to.
Yeah, needless to say, I didn't go back in the water after that because I was just like, if whales are back in there, there's sharks in there too.
Yeah.
yeah, I was done.
I mean, why take a chance?
Right.
Not worth it.
Chlorinated pool for me. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Fair enough.
Keep it clean.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about sand in your underpants either, so it also works.
No.
Yep.
What foreign language would you most like to learn?
This is so, I'm embarrassed to say this, that I don't know Spanish. And it's the one that I keep like sort of starting to try to learn. And that, cause I took French and I took Arabic when I was in college. And skipped, even though I grew up in Florida, I didn't learn Spanish. And that would, wow, I have this weird, I'm sitting under a
Kinda
skylight.
Majestic, I was gonna say
Okay.
this majestic
Yeah.
halo coming
Whoa.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, I want to learn Spanish, but if I were just going to choose one to learn like purely for fun, I think Russian. I love how Russian sounds.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Apparently, it's one of the hardest languages to learn in the world.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
We got to learn a different alphabet. So there's that.
Yeah. I think I'd love to learn like Japanese or Chinese or something. I think it's one of those things that it's all going to go there eventually in the world. So with the way the technology is overriding, I think it'd be actually really handy.
Well, they say English is actually, for if you're non-English speaker, is the hardest language to learn because of our multi-meanings. Like we have
Oh,
three
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, and then like different English spellings. Like we blend a little bit of like Spanish, French, and traditional English.
Yeah.
Across North America, so it's
That's
weird, right?
Yeah.
So
And there's so many exceptions to the rules.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
yeah, it's not cut and dry. Our
Yeah.
language is definitely not black and white. So
And even more difficult in Canada because we adopted a lot of the British terms as well, right? So
Oh,
just a
geez.
mess,
Well, yeah.
just a mess with people even more.
and we kind of we invented the universal swear word. I mean, the F word means so many things.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all
So-
depends on how loud and how steady you say it.
Exactly. And in what accent. So,
Yep. Exactly. All right.
All right. If you could relive a decade, which would you choose and why?
The
Yeah, it doesn't have
80s.
Okay, I was gonna say, but now.
Oh,
if
it doesn't
wasn't-
have to be one of my decades.
That's right. Yeah.
I think the 40s then. Although, I'm thinking about like the swinging 40s, but then I'm also realizing I'm choosing to relive, or for me, live for the first time World War II, which doesn't sound super great.
So 40s minus the war.
Yeah,
Yes.
if we could do that, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm all about that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the 40s, except for the war part. Although I liked your 80s was the best for music. So
80s feels a little safer, yeah.
Oh,
it's
dude.
a Varney and
I still have a blonde mullet wig that I pull out once in a while and rock out. It's Oh, now I'm gonna wear it to one of our episodes.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. That's amazing. All right. Toilet paper flap inside or outside?
Outside.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
Yes.
Normally we have to
absolutely.
explain
I
that.
knew I liked this girl. I
Yeah.
knew it.
You know
I
what?
knew
It's because she knows the struggle. That's why.
Yeah. But it's so interesting because people are generally very opinionated one way or the other. And I don't understand the other way.
Yeah.
I also don't understand the people that don't have a preference because I feel like it's very different.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's weird because I always put it outside every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Without fail.
I'm an inside person. And the only reason is because I had cats for so long. I got used to them unrolling the toilet paper on me. So I had to do it that way, or I
That
was
makes
buying a lot of
sense.
toilet paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except we had one guess that it was going the inside must be disgusting because it would touch the wall. And I'm like, what's on
That's
What's
you're
on
worried
your
about?
wall?
what's on your wall that would be
Yeah.
disgusting? Yeah. I didn't know if I really wanted to call him out on that, but I was kind of like, what's on your wall?
Yeah, that's very.
Now I got a free fold. I got one of those free standing things, so it doesn't have to touch a wall either way.
There you go.
But I still have to worry about the cat knocking it over.
Amateur hour. I have a day.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know. Never even used one. That's weird. What was the first movie that ever made you cry?
Oh. I think The Never-Ending Story.
Ooh,
That is such a good one, and
wow.
no one's ever said it.
Nobody's ever
that's
said
mine,
that?
actually.
Yeah.
That is mine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Same era, right? Like it's my God, that was such an upsetting movie towards the end.
Yeah.
You're thinking, oh my God, the whole universe is gonna die. Yeah.
So
was crazy.
sad.
Yeah. Wow.
All
Man,
right.
that almost brings a tear to me. Like I'm thinking, I feel sad now. I haven't
You know
thought
what?
about that movie in a long
I
time.
want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's true.
There you go. I just
Yeah.
spread sadness wherever I go.
That's fantastic. No, it's okay. I'm gonna force my kids to watch that movie now.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. What did we watch the other day? Actually, The Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. I was thinking that as the
Oh,
follow-up
yes.
Labyrinth. Yeah. David Bowie was fantastic in that.
That was a fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
It would not surprise me if they exist because it just feels so, I think that we're completely unique in how we are made, but it also feels like it feels sort of arrogant to think that we'd be the only living creatures in the universe. This planet would be the only one.
Well, interesting statistic, and I just looked this up the other day.
Mhm.
But there are 400 billion stars in our galaxy, estimated.
Mhm.
And then there are 20 million galaxies. Or 20
Whoa.
That they know of.
That they know of. That's the
Yeah.
foreseeable Hubble
Yeah.
shot.
Wow.
So, I mean, that number is, you'd have to calculate it with a very long calculator.
Well, and to think then, if there's that much out there, how can we be the only form of life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to say aliens look like us. It doesn't seem the aliens look like little
No.
green men, but there's got to be something out there. There's like a gaseous type of being or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Aliens. I'm still sure there's got to. I don't think you can truly believe in Star Wars if you don't believe there's something out there. There's got to be
Yeah.
something.
Awesome. How would you spend $100 million?
Oh my gosh. Wow. $100 million. Well, I mean, I would make sure I just like put some of it away in savings first because my parents always told me to save.
Mhm.
I would buy so many fun gifts for so many people. I would buy lots of travel for sure, with like lots of friends and lots of family. And I guess like a new house or something. And what's like a big ticket item that I would love to have?
You
I
could
don't
go
really-
to
Or
the moon.
lightsabers
Yeah.
from CR Savers.
Yeah. You could go to the
Funny, you
moon.
should mention that. Yeah, I think I don't spend a lot of time like, wishing that I could have this or that in terms of material things. I think I wish more for experiences. So I think I would like travel. I would take people with me. I would throw some. I would enjoy like being like Oprah for a while and just like, you get a car and you get a car. That would be
I think my
great.
wife would feel the same way. Cars for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would totally. I would be that guy that just anytime I went to a restaurant, be like, okay,
Pay it forward.
pay for everyone here.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah, that'd be
I would-
so cool.
I think I would love to go into like a pizza store like that's got a really popular like college campus or university campus and just be like, send pizzas out to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Are you left or right-handed?
Right.
Nice.
Oh,
So you're normal. That's good.
Hey.
Tony's left-handed. So
Weirdo.
I don't know. I can whack you with both hands though. So
what gets on your nerves? What's your biggest pet peeve?
I don't know what my biggest pet peeve is, but one that just came to mind is noisy chewing of food.
The smacking.
The
Like
open
Yeah.
mouth chewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
really like,
Ugh.
certain
Yeah.
sounds just, but also because I have spent a lot of time living in New York and we were just talking about flying through New York. It's definitely like when you have somewhere to be in New York City and you're walking through like Times Square where there's people who are tourists and don't have anywhere to be and don't understand like how to, and look, I know, we're all there doing different things. We all have different schedules, but there's just like sometimes a lack of awareness that other people might need to
Yes.
travel faster, or like, especially when it's raining out and people have their umbrellas and they're just like clobbering you. And yeah,
Or purposely walking slow in front of you so you can't get to the doorway
Yeah.
when you shade yourself.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't like that as well.
Yeah, it's true.
What was the last thing you did just for yourself?
the last thing I did just for myself. I went on a hike this morning. I don't think that was for anyone else.
Good.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone, but I don't know. It's just because that's what I use and I'm used to it. I don't know that I could like get in an argument about which one is superior.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's okay.
What do you do when you can't fall asleep?
Oh man. So what I used to do, and I actually have a song that a friend wrote for me about it, was I used to bake. I was a compulsive nighttime baker, and it's not a good thing to undertake when you can't sleep because once you get into it, you're going to be up for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I actually had to stop keeping baking ingredients in my home because when I couldn't sleep, I would start to make a pie or a cake or cupcakes, cookie, whatever.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
I'm a
That does
compulsive
not-
nighttime eater, so that worked out really well.
I know I needed neighbors who were also sleepless and hungry.
Wow, that is I couldn't even just imagine waking up to fresh cookies in the morning.
I
Well,
mean,
coffee and cookies
We
today.
appreciate your struggle and everything, but wow,
Yeah.
that is, jeez.
Wow, first world problems.
And I love to bake, but I can't be the one to eat it because I have to make a living as an actor and that won't work.
That's right. That's right. Well, your husband's got to take one for the team then.
Yeah. Every time I make something, there is what he calls the husband tax where he gets to have some of it.
One slice,
Even if I'm
one
giving it
slice of
away,
pie,
yeah.
please. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be weird then when you want to give a pie away and you're like, here's 92% of a pie.
Yeah. Don't mind the missing piece. My husband.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's okay. I think if a neighbor said that, I'd be like, say no more.
I don't think but in fairness, like I don't think I've ever eaten a plate of fries where Ashley hasn't stolen at least one.
Oh, I have to buy my meal calculated that my wife will take at least 25% of it.
That's
Like
fair.
and it's really weird because like I mean, but if I order something, then I kind of feel like, well, I'd like this, and I have to look at it. I'm like, oh, but is it enough if she eats some of it? Like maybe I need an appetizer, and then I just feel like a big fat ass for eating that.
It keeps your mind sharp.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
true. It's true. Yeah. So
Sometimes
we order just specifically. She's like, I'd like a little bit of everything, so I'm going to order this. You have to order this, and my meal's already chosen for me. So I'm just like,
strategic.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Well, speaking of baking, next question: what is the best thing you've ever eaten?
Oh. I would have to say a few years ago, I traveled to the Basque region of Spain with my parents, which was really fun to like travel as an adult with my parents. And they are, I understand that might not be fun for everyone, but with my parents, it was great. And I had roasted octopus for the first time. And I think partly because it was so unexpected that it would be absolutely delicious, it just stands out. And I had tried like calamari before, and I think I'd even had octopus before, and it was rubbery. But the way that they cooked it, it was just so tender and not at all sea creature-y, and the flavors were just amazing. So I'm gonna go with octopus.
That's
okay. Okay.
I've had really good octopus before.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
no, I've had it's mediocre. I've had some good calamari, but not a lot. Now I do have to ask you.
Okay.
Before you ate that, did you come off a long stint of like, I can't eat anything for a film, and then it didn't really actually matter? It could have been a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and you'd be like, my God, this is the best thing in the world.
No, I was well fed. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And I had it a few times while we were there, so it wasn't a fluke.
Okay, that's amazing.
Was it like breaded or was it? Like,
it was just roasted, like grilled.
Okay. Grilled. Yeah.
All right.
That's the way I had it, and I liked it. So,
okay.
All right, cool. The last question for you: what is your favorite podcast that you've been on in the last 12 hours?
Man, I've done like 5 of them today now.
What?
Oh wow!
We're doing lightsabers.
Yep.
I got lightsabers from all of them. I feel like that question is pointing me towards a very specific answer.
I don't know what you're talking
about.
I want to know how you came up with the name for your podcast.
Well, funny story. So it's a kind of a play on a masturbation joke, to be absolutely honest.
Okay.
So
that's not how he pitched it to me, though.
No. I tricked Tony.
It wasn't until later that evening when he came up with it. He's like, I don't know. Like, I think whatever it's going to be freaking awesome. He's like, ooh, how about the freaking awesome podcast? And I'm like, yeah, okay.
We'll call ourselves the FAP.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's easy to short form and everything. And it wasn't until like 4 hours later I got home like, wait a minute.
so fapping it's like a masturbation term.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah, so it was a double entendre, and I got away with it, and it just stuck.
And then it stuck. Yeah. So needless to say, when you go to check out our website, see thefap.ca, and we're not responsible if you go to thefap.com. So, I can't.
Yeah, I wonder, like, if you follow your podcast, I wonder which other ones it would recommend for you.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how many times we can say masturbation at a time. You never know what might come up in the algorithm.
No, we're pretty tame. We keep it fairly classy.
We're pretty good.
We're explicit, of course, but we're not overly crude.
Yeah. Now, I do have another question, actually, to add on to there. I heard you've got a very interesting pet naming scheme.
Pet naming scheme?
Yeah. Like, I mean, just like your way of naming pets isn't just your average, like, hey, Toby.
Oh, there we go. Now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning. We just moved into this house a week ago, so now I'm learning what happens at different times of day with lighting and stuff. Well, it's a skylight right over me, so it was great when we started, but then I looked like I was an alien. Yeah. So when I was a kid, when I was in second grade, and it's important to know that I was in second grade, I named our dog Cupcake, but her full name was Princess Frosty Cupcake Swallow. My husband at the time, unbeknownst to me, because we didn't know each other, also had the same kind of dog, a Cocker Spaniel, named Buffy Ruffles Chiquita Benita Kimball. She went by Buffy. And so, we had Cupcake, and that was a food. And when Chad told me his dog's name and he said Ruffles, I was thinking of the potato chips, and also Chiquita, like Chiquita bananas. So I was like, you had food in your dog's name too. Yeah. So we got our dog. And when we first got her, her name was Taffy.
Ew.
So we were trying to choose a new name, and she had this little white spot next to her mouth that looked like a beauty mark. So we called her Marilyn for a little while. Yep. But then we decided she wasn't really a Marilyn, so we went with Norma Jean, Marilyn's, original name. And then we had a friend who had begged us to name her Mr. Meatballs. And we couldn't fully commit to Mr. Meatballs, but we liked the meatball part because it brought food into the mix again, like we'd done when we were kids. So now we have Norma Jean Meatballs, who has her own Instagram.
Amazing.
And her own armorer costume.
Hey, that's amazing. Nothing
a fan
better
made
than,
it for her. Yeah.
That is very cool. Yeah. Nothing better than armoring your pets.
Exactly.
I thought about 3D printing armor for my cat just for the fun of it, but yeah, I don't think she'd like it.
I don't feel like a cat would go for that. Norma doesn't have a helmet. There's no way she would tolerate that, but she's got like the little fur cape thing and the leather, and she even has like a tiny sword on her belt. That's pretty great. Yeah.
That is very, very cool. Now, before we actually mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I didn't want to forget. Now we have something special today. We are actually going to be doing a giveaway, and this giveaway is a tiny little armor. So I can get in there a little closer. It's a Funko Pop
with a bobbly head.
With a bobbly head, yes, it does have a bobblehead in there. So what we're doing is, before we went on break, we had actually posted up a card that said, "Please stay tuned." And in that card, there are 5 Easter eggs. Any one of our viewers, listeners who, of course, see this, you've got 1 week to go through that card. You can check out our Instagram, or you can go to our Facebook page. That is pictured is posted there. Probably one link now down from this one. But if you can find the 5 Easter eggs, DM us, and if you get them, we will put you into the draw for the armor, the mini armor, the extra tiny version of Emily's ball here, and we will send that out to you, and it will be kind of a fun little gift. So you got 1 week. So on next show, we will gather up all our winners. We'll put them into the winner wheel, and we'll see who can get this happy little character before the end of it. So. Excellent. Oh, it looks like we have got a couple more comments here before we head out. And we got Brian Morgan, who definitely wants that tiny little armor. So excellent. So anybody out there who is listening and or listening to this show afterwards, do you have any social medias that you would like to pitch? Any charities, anything that you're working on that you're passionate about?
Well, on Twitter, I don't really use Twitter a whole lot, but Twitter and Instagram, I am the same. I'm Biggie Swalls, which is BIGESWALLZ. You can also follow Norma Jean Meatballs on Instagram. And charity-wise, I do work with the Surfrider Foundation, so that would be my shout out.
Very cool. Excellent. Yeah. Well, we'll make sure that we post up those links under the guest page on our website. So if anybody wants to know a little bit more, or didn't have the time to write that down while you're on the road, make sure you jump over to our website, go to our guest section, and check out a wonderful picture that we will post up of Emily and her links. And of course, make sure you jump over to our sponsors section and check out CR Sabers and the Blue Bulls Outer Rim Saber parts, where you can, of course, also see along the ticker tape at the bottom of the film. You can go check out their products, and welcome to the immense universe of customized sabers.
It's pretty rad.
Wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us. Hopefully we can
you.
circle back around with you a little later in the year and have you back. And maybe you'll have a little bit more surprise Star Wars to talk about come that time. And we would love to definitely have you back as a guest again.
I would love that. That sounds
Wonderful.
good.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for spending a little bit of your day with us. And sorry for the little technical difficulties at the beginning.
It
Unfortunately,
all
we
worked
cannot-
out.
we can't cover the acts of the power company. So the
It
bills are
doesn't
paid.
look
That's
like-
all I know.
It doesn't look like Matt has been fully blinded, so it's okay.
No, I've regained full
Yeah.
eyesight.
Yeah, at least in the left eye.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. It was a great shot on the first. Excellent. That's how how bright those sabers are. It's amazing. Excellent. Well, again, thank you very much, Emily. Hopefully, maybe next time we have you back, we can talk a little bit more on the supernatural side, which we didn't really get to touch base on because there's always so much geeking out on Star Wars.
As there should be.
That's right. Excellent. Or that is the way.
This is the way, yeah.
Great. There we go. We got you to say it in the end. Wonderful. Again, thank you very much. And we will be chatting again soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take
Yeah.
care.
Bye.